Now, what if your kids were as excited to eat their vegetables as they were to eat cake? You'd say, what kind of alternate universe are you living in? However, we're going to show you just how that can happen because our next guest is making that possible. Welcome back, the author of Kitchen Matters, our good friend Pamela Salzman. Welcome back.
Hi.
So good to see you. We've never been so happy to see you.
People are very excited about this.
Especially this one.
I mean, not only because it's just vegetables and chocolate together, but also another very important reason, which Cameron is excited about. You can see Tim and Shirley, they're already digging in.
Yes.
So you have figured out a way to have our cake and eat our vegetables too, all at the same time.
I would just like to share that my son is incredibly picky, and when I first made these for him, he was scarfing them down, and I said, by the way, there's zucchini in them. And he goes, I don't even care. Because they're that good. Yeah.
Well, they're super impressive, and like you said, because of some different swap outs in here, they don't make your blood sugar spike.
Correct.
Whereas some other cakes and brownies and cookies would do that. So they're grain-free. You're making this sort of zucchini slash brownie without any flour.
Correct. So grain-free and exactly, it's become very popular right now. And flours, even if they're whole grain flours, they can spike your blood sugar. And a lot of people are starting to realize that blood sugar stability is really important. So instead of using a grain-based flour, like a wheat flour, or even a gluten-free flour, we're not using any flour. We are using a base of almond butter.
Almond butter.
And almond butter is a really healthy fat. It's got lots of protein. I know. Believe me, I don't even know how this works, but
the science of it is peculiar. When I was reading this yesterday, I knew you were coming. I thought there was a misprint in the recipe. And I said, oh, I need to call the producer. There's a misprint here. There's no flour. There's not even, I thought it was almond flour, not almond butter.
Right.
Wow.
And I just want to add, before we actually go through the recipe, if your children are nut-free, or if you're nut-free, you can use sunflower butter, which is a seed instead, because a lot of schools are nut-free.
Oh, my goodness.
It is. It's a good swap out.
I'm in heaven.
Okay, well, let's get started.
Sure. So we've already got the almond butter in the bowl. We're going to add some vanilla extract, which I add to a lot of baked goods because it just has a natural sweetening flavor without it actually being a sweetener. Some baking soda because we need a leavening agent to make this rise. Salt always. In everything that you bake, you need some salt, especially with chocolate. Now, this is an optional ingredient. This is instant coffee powder. I like instant coffee with chocolate because it just deepens the chocolate flavor. But if you're afraid to use it or you don't have it, don't even worry about it.
For the kids, maybe you can leave it out.
Exactly.
But don't use coffee grounds.
I'm really glad you pointed that out. Yes.
Oh, instant coffee.
Has to be
Very good.
instant.
Mine will include instant coffee.
Cameron's
it will
very
just
excited
kind of
about that.
dissolve into your batter better.
Where the grounds won't, they'll be grainy.
Correct. Exactly. So this is our chocolate flavor. So this is either going to be an unsweetened cocoa powder, or you can also use raw cacao if that's what you have in your pantry.
Either one is fine.
Either one's fine. We're going to use 1 egg.
Which is interesting when you're making a cake. You'd usually use more than 1 egg.
Yes. That would make this too fluffy. And we want this to be a little bit denser, you know, like something a little bit more decadent. So just the 1 egg. I mean, there's a lot of things that are not in this besides the flour. If you didn't notice, there's also no added fat.
I know.
Because the almond butter has plenty of fat. So we're not adding a stick of butter or a cup of oil or anything like that. This is maple syrup.
There's also no granulated sugar.
No. There's not. This is an unrefined sweetener. So it's not quite as taxing to the body as a refined cane sugar. I love maple syrup. I use it all the time. You do need a wet sweetener here. So if you wanted to swap out honey
I was
for the
going to
maple,
ask you that.
you can.
Sure. Okay.
Absolutely. No problem.
Okay.
So this now looks great. I mean, we're already onto like a brownie batter.
I mean, it's so good. That's
cake
beautiful.
batter. And this is obviously the star of the show. You're going to take your zucchini. You are not going to peel it. You are not going to squeeze it. You're not going to do anything to it other than grate it. And the finer that you grate it, the more it will disappear into your batter.
So the more you can hide the vegetables.
Right, if you're into that. So it looks like it's a lot, but I promise you, because I've made this about 300 times, and all my students have too, this will completely disappear into your batter.
This
and
is
then
a great
if
recipe.
you want, you can add in some chocolate chips.
But what would you do?
Who wouldn't want to?
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate, semi-sweet, you know, whatever. Doesn't matter. Milk chocolate, I'm not a big milk chocolate fan. I personally like dark chocolate because it has less sugar in it.
And because it's healthy for you. Doctors say so.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, and I know we've said
Oh my God, you finished it, Cameron?
I cannot tell that there was zucchini in my brownie.
He's never finished any dessert sitting at that.
I'm so flattered. Okay,
Oh
so
my
now
goodness,
this is an
Pamela.
8x8 pan lined with parchment paper. We've greased it up a little bit. I like to be able to pull my cakes completely out of here and then cut it onto a cutting board.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
I know, it smells like cake.
It really does.
Yeah.
The texture is unbelievable.
I'm so excited. All right, so we'll spread this out.
Could you use any other vegetable besides zucchini?
Oh, that's a very high level
about, like,
question.
sweet potato?
Yes. Believe it or not, that's my latest brownie has been with grated, like really finely grated raw sweet potato. And I feel like you could probably do that here too with the same, because that's a very
Okay.
similar recipe. Okay, so that's a great question. So this is gonna go into our 350-degree oven
For how long?
for about 35-ish, 40 minutes.
Ooh,
and
look at
then
that. Oh.
voila.
Wow, let me move these.
Guys,
What
oh
if
my
you wanted to
gosh.
put, like, if you didn't have a nut allergy, like walnuts or something in it?
Like a walnut butter or add walnuts chopped?
Like walnuts chopped, no?
100%.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
I thought you were
all
going to say
good.
everything but the walnuts.
Don't get me wrong. Of course, that'd be amazing. Should we cut this?
Let's cut it.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So happy right now, and if there's a leftover piece over there, I might
Speaking of
actually go for a
leftovers, you could
double.
freeze this, right?
You
Oh,
could
could you?
freeze it. And here's what I love about grain-free desserts is that they last for a really long time in the fridge, and the texture is perfecto.
Wow.
So you can keep this in the fridge. It won't last that long in the fridge because everybody will eat it, but it could last for a week in the fridge, and it will still be amazing.
And it tastes as good frozen, like actually frozen.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but I didn't want to eat the whole pan one time, so I froze it so that I wouldn't eat it all. And then I'm like, let me just see what it tastes like frozen. I'm like, oh shoot, it tastes even better frozen.
Oh my
With a
God.
scoop of ice cream.
That's literally me. I would have done the same
All right,
thing. Thank you
Pamela.
so much. This is so delicious.
Cheers.
You're going to freak out in 3, 2, 1.
Amazing.
Whoa. Yeah, see, I told you, right on cue. As always, full recipes at hallmarkchannel.com, everybody. For more delicious recipes from Pamela, be sure to grab a copy of Kitchen Matters.